So just for the purpose of recording, hello, welcome to Money Babies with Dad. I'm going to also start doing transcription. If you are new to this segment of the Club She Is program, this is a segment that we started last year and had to bring to a brief break, but we're back now, which is amazing. And we do this segment once a month. We're going to try to do it towards the end of the month, so probably the last Wednesday or the third Wednesday of every month, with my dad and Tate Pizzo. He is a lifelong investor. He's been investing since before I was born, and I'm very, very, very young. And he's obviously, if you've watched before, he's told us a little bit about how he started investing, and that's what today is about, right? Our rich dad. He's our rich dad. So that's what today is about. It's about starting, because when you talk to people about investing, it's always, okay, that's for like those people, right? It's not for us. I'll do it when I get to it, or I'll do it when I have a lot of money, or I'll do it, I suppose, when I'm all good and ready. But if you, I suppose the best time to start investing is, the best time to have started investing is yesterday. The second best time is right now. And so what the topic for today specifically is how to plan for the year, how to start for the year. So I told him, and I was like, can you do Money Babies this time? And he was like, what's the topic? And I said, there's not really a topic, but assuming, okay, this is the assumption that we're making. The assumption is that we have eaten our December money. The bonuses are finished. We scraped through January. We were able to pay school fees by some miracle. We may have gotten to a little bit of debt, but nothing too much. But now we just want to be like, let's start strong before the year spirals out of control. So that's the premise of the conversation. So when we say starting strong, even though we are in February, we're assuming that things went horribly wrong in December, but we're going to get back on the horse and start investing. So dare take it away. You're on mute though. Oh,
Okay.
there you
Hello.
go. Hi.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Thank you. Hi, everybody. I hope that I'll do justice to this big thing that I'm giving every time. Not to have a very clear topic is very difficult. That's why I always ask, what is it all about? And I just thought about getting ahead of the game. That this would be the first, so it would be short, and we're not going to go into much into investing, but just around this time of the year, we passed January, we now in February, we are still worried, and now we are going into, in few days time, we'll be in March. So we're starting to march into the new year. But when we think about planning for, I just thought about planning for Christmas season and back to school season. I think that is the most difficult part of the year that people have to plan for. And we need to be intentional about it. This cycle comes every year. We know that December is coming, January is coming. For those who have children that go to school, the school uniform is needed, the books are needed, everything is needed during this time. But our biggest problem that I found, it is not planning, but is the habits that we have, or the lack thereof. Our habits are not the good one. If you can go back 2-3 years ago and then go through your plan, if you have one, and then you check the one that you drew for this year, basically you'll find that there is no change. Plans don't normally change. You just tweak here and there. But the problem is, why can't we go ahead? Why can't we get ahead? It is the habits that we have built, not our goals that are deceiving us, that are making us have a problem. When I'm talking about habits, I'm talking about around 4 or 3 things. The first one being our values, our standards, the routine that we have, the rules that we live by. Those are the habits that I'm talking about that come to mind every time I do my planning. What are my values? When I do my plan, what are my values? Is my plan aligned to my values? If my plan is not aligned to my values, the likelihood is that I'm going to deviate very, very, very soon. And I have to have a standards. Those standards that I have, I keep to the standards. I don't know if probably most of you have not seen the horse racing or the horses that are racing. They have what they call them oogklaps. The oogklaps are the things that they put on the horses on the sides, so that the horse just concentrate see the road forward, not on the side. You can call it guardrails and your standards. And then there's a routine, something that you do and you do and you do and you do until you do it right. And most of us do it once, the second time, the third time we say it's not working. There are things that I'm still not yet perfect in doing, but I still do them because I know that one day I'll get them right. And sometimes I get them right, sometimes I don't get them right. The other ones are the rules. What rules do you have? You need to have your own rules. You cannot use somebody else's rules. What I'm talking about would probably be my rules, not your rules. So you need to set up your own set of rules that will govern your financial planning, that will govern your, particularly the time around December, January. For me, one of the things that I do, my planning, I no longer work, so I don't have kids that go to school. So my planning is no longer from January, it's from October. I've shifted it to October. And my biggest item on my planning, it's no longer December or school, it's a holiday, which is somewhere in the middle of the year. So that's how I plan. I plan in October. I don't plan necessarily for December. Yes, there will be something for December. There will be something for January, but those are very, 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 very low-key events for me. My biggest one would be the holiday that I plan for. And what I find is that when I do my planning, when immediately I come back from holiday, the first thing that I do a review of my budget, my spending. How much money did I spend? Where did I deviate? What good things did I do? What bad things did I do? So think about it this time. It's February. Go back to December, the 1st of December, and say, did I plan for my December? What are my finances like? If I itemize everything that you have spent in December, January, or even from November, particularly from December, January, February, and say to yourself, is this what I'm going to spend every year? If not, pick it and say, this time I'm not going to, next year, this time I'm going to spend this amount of money, because there is March, April up to November that I still need to plan for. So when you start doing that, you are ensuring that your year, it's not only in December, because most of us, if not all, in December, we have the credit card. And we make credit card our friend. Credit card is not our friend. It's not our best friend. Yes, it's our friend, but it's not our best friend. I was checking my credit card statement, and most of us don't check. I was also checking my levies for the estate levies. I don't know if you check the levies for our estate. We have a rule that if a person does not pay full amount, if you have to pay 1,000 rand, you pay 990. You are short of 10 rand. You are charged collection fee of 25 rand plus interest of 7% on that. So if you miss by day to pay your levy, you are charged collection fee. And how many of us miss that, particularly in December? Because our everyday spending is not automated. You need to automate in January, particularly for December and January, March. Those things have to be automated. Your rent, your lights, everything that is of essential to you, you need to automate it and make sure that it's paid on time. And your credit card is also paid on time. When I say credit card is not your friend, in December, credit card is not your friend. Do not draw cash from your credit card. Draw cash from your debit card. Remember, when you draw cash from your credit card, you are drawing cash that you don't necessarily have. And the 55 days or 40 days or 50 days that people talk about, remember credit card, the average interest that you pay on a credit card is 18%. Some people pay 21%, some 24%. Few would pay probably about 12, 11%. Those are people at a very high level who can negotiate their interest. Some of us, we just go there and then they give us how much we have to pay. So if you draw cash and then you don't pay it in full, you're going to be charged that amount of money. It is better to buy, because if you buy, when you draw cash, you are charged. It's not 55 days. You are charged immediately interest on that. It's only purchases that are reserved for 55 days or those number of days. So if you draw cash, you know that you are going to pay for it from day one. Okay, so how do we plan for the year? As I said to you, my plan is October, and you need to find your time of planning and set up a meaningful plan or budget for this period, particularly for the 1st of December to the 28th of January 29. Set a realistic budget and ask the question, why? Why do I have this item on my budget? Why do I have this? Why? Don't just say it has been a tradition. Yes, we have a lot of traditions. Some of us traditions is to have a Christmas tree. Why do you have a Christmas tree? Why do you have to pay for it? Okay, I'm not saying you must not have it, you can have it, but you must ask yourself, why? Okay, why do I go to a Christmas party? To pay for it? Why? So you ask all those questions and answer them genuinely, answer them and set up your budget. Resist living above your means. Live within your means, particularly at this time of the year. Live within your means. Remember, January is coming. Kids are going to school, and you don't want your kids to go to school and then you're not able to pay for them. At least some of us got paid today. Is it today or yesterday? 25. 25. When was the 25? Yesterday.
Yesterday.
So we got paid yesterday. So we are smiling. At least we are smiling. You know, the month has become, at least the month is a little bit shorter. But if you don't ask why, it becomes a problem. So in your budget, when you draw up your budget, things that are, we said you automated all your bills. things that are standing, you automate them. Or make sure that you automate and avoid unnecessary expenses during this time. Do your budget and for the year. Tweak it. Make sure that every month you go back and check and tweak everything. Tweak until you get it perfect. And what you do also, you need to celebrate. Celebrate the little things that you consider to be milestones. How you celebrate them, it's up to you, but celebrate them. Make sure that you celebrate your milestone, no matter how small. And the other thing is that when most of us now have debts, we need to pay off those debts. The first one that we need to pay off is the credit card. Remember, we said that your credit card, they will charge you up to 18%, and some of you maximum is 24, 21, depending on your negotiation with the bank. But pay off your credit card. When it says it's 55 days, you don't wait for 55 days because they charge you as per statement. You miss 55 days, you pay 21% or 18%. That, and what happens is that if you miss, it accumulates. So they keep on charging you. You pay half. Say, no, I'll pay half. You pay half, it carries over. You pay half, it carries over. And they keep on charging you and keep on charging you. So the first thing on your debt that you have to deal with, it's your credit card. Make sure that your credit card is cleared. As I said, credit card is not your special friend. He's your friend, but he's not a special friend. Okay, so get rid of it. It's a good thing to have a credit card. It's a good thing to have a credit card because with a credit card, if you buy something and the merchant cheats you, you can go to your company, to your bank, and tell them that I wanted to return this thing. This person refused. Do you know that you return the bank will just reverse that transaction? You don't have to fight with the merchant. The merchant will fight with the bank. So that is why I like credit card. I travel, I buy something, or people use my credit card online. I just go back to the bank. I was not there. The bank reverses. Okay. If it's a debit card, it becomes a problem. So that is why I like a credit card, but he's not my friend. Okay. It's just a good tool to use. So number one, we said you start by planning, and in your budget, make sure that you have your fixed cost and your variable cost. Your fixed costs are it's your rent, insurance, all those things that you have to pay. Make sure that they are clearly marked and you automate them. Some people, when they budget, they use a rule or a system. They call it 50, 30, 20. 50% of the it's for fixed, 30% is for variables, and 20% is for savings and other things. I don't use that. Sorry, I think mine it's quite different. I think I use 45 for my fix, and 15 for my tithe and giving, and then 21 for other things, and then so it's quite you decide, and then you can change it from time to time, and make sure that you revise from time to time, and when you do that, stick by your rules. Have the rules. Okay. I see somebody says 45 fixed. It's fine. That's the almost mine are around that fixed. It's 45 because I have to pay medical aid, I have to pay rent, sorry, the levies, I have to pay all these things. It's quite huge. Okay, but the variables, I play around with the variables. Okay, I can play around with the variables. I don't have to go out and eat every now and then. Okay, I can change the restaurant and eat at a cheaper restaurant for that month or for, you know. So those are the variables that we can change. I cannot change the levies. I cannot change what I pay for medical aid. So that you can play around with, and remember, make this thing are in accordance with your values or around your values, what you value. It should not be influenced by other people. I think yeah. Let me pause.
Okay. You're pausing now for questions.
Yeah.
So we're gonna take questions. But before we take questions, I actually just wanted to add a little bit. I wanted you to go just one step further. So I enjoyed the budgeting and I enjoyed the credit card, right? So this was like that was like for, you're talking like future. I mean past, because you're talking about December, January, but now you're talking about the future technically also. So now my question talks about like, so assuming that we've done the credit card thing, right? So we've paid off our credit card, and we can assume that we don't have any bad debt. So we don't have any credit card debt. The only debt that we have currently is the vehicle, the new car that we bought in December, and the new house that we just put it down a deposit for in December because we got our bonus, yay. How do we though then think about money babies? How do we think about making, the little money that we have? So I think you talked about the 15%, you said tithe and giving, and so saving comes in there as well, is to say, where do we start with the money babies? What are the vehicles that we should be looking at in terms of money babies?
The first thing that we should look at is our emergency fund. Okay. Before you start saving, the first thing that you think about, it's once you don't have debt. When I'm talking about you don't have debt, meaning that credit card, not you don't have a debt for your car or for your house or for other things, or those big items. No. I'm just talking about little items that you have. You start with your emergency fund. An emergency fund has to be a minimum of 3 months of your expenses. So if you have your expenses, you take that amount. If the expenses, it's 10,000 rand, your emergency fund would be, you build it to be 30,000. You start from there, and you can continue and add on it. Have emergency fund a minimum of 3 months or up to 6 months, but 3 months it's reasonable. Okay, that's the first thing. The second thing is there is this what we call tax-free investment. I won't say savings, tax-free. That is a vehicle that most people do not use. You save 36,000 rand per annum. Yeah.
Per year, yeah.
Per annum, 36,000. And it's a very good vehicle because you don't pay tax on it. When it grows, you don't pay tax on it.
Can you explain that a little bit further?
Okay. Supposing, let's say you have, I think some of you know EasyEquity. If not, we'll talk about it later or sometime. Okay, not today. You take your money, you go to your bank, or you go to EasyEquity. There is what they call tax-free investment. You invest your money in unit trust. Okay, unit trusts are more safer than your shares, in the sense that it's a collective of instruments and there is somebody who looks after it. Okay, so you take your money, and most of the products that you have, your your retirement annuity, it's unit trust. Okay, so you can see that they also use unit trust to save your money. So you take that money. The good thing about it is that you can use it for each and every member of the household. Each person can have his or her own account. It can be you if you are married, your spouse, or if you have children. Each child can have their own tax-free savings, and the money grows. As it grows, there is no tax on that money. There is no capital gains. Capital gain is when you withdraw money. Because it has grown, the SARS will charge you. Like during the time, just few months ago, the two-pot system, people thought that they're going to kill it, but SARS killed them. Okay, because SARS was taxing that money. Okay, but if you invest in tax-free, then you'll be able to get the whole amount of money. It's good for also for children's education. That you immediately the child is born with the ID number. Unlike us, some of us, we didn't born with that. We were not given ID number at birth. So the child is given the ID number. So you can invest on that ID number every month. Even if it's small amount, it does not matter how small that amount is. That's where you start. So you do your first thing what you do is you clear your debt, and then you do your 3 months emergency, then you do your tax-free. Something that people don't think about when they are young is that they're going to get old. And when you say they're going to get old, they think about 100. No, not 100. When you retire, the time that you want to retire, you would need to start saving now. If you are 30, you're almost late.
Ah.
Yeah, I'm not saying you're late. You're almost late. If you are 35, you're almost late. If you are 25, aha. Okay. Immediately you start saving for your retirement. Small amount. Okay. 27%, a minimum of 27%. Don't save less than 27% into your retirement. Otherwise, when you retire, you'll have a problem. Okay. I'm retired. I know of people that I went to school with that cannot afford to retire because they save less than that amount. Okay. And others, not only that, when they change jobs, they use that amount of money. Okay. So that is number 2. It's your tax-free, it's your retirement. And then you can think about now your other kind of investments. Okay. You can use your unit trust investments or ETFs, EFT, ETF, ETF, not electronic transfer.
Yeah.
Yeah, electronic exchange traded funds. Okay, you can use that. Also, for most of you, you can use them through EasyEquity. I think one day we need to have some chat on the platform that people can use to invest. Okay.
Yeah.
Then they will have that. Then we can talk about that. So those are just in short. I don't know if I've answered that. Just in short. Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you. Helpful. Comment. Sorry, I dropped my EasyEquity, the link to EasyEquity in the chat if anybody wanted to check it out, but I don't think it's the right link, so just ignore my comments. Questions. Don't all come at me at once. If you do have a question, just unmute yourself and then, or drop it in the comments below, and then you can answer. If I'm late, can I use the interest from my share invest? Nomdeni, what do you mean? If I'm late, can I use the interest from my shares to invest? Probably. I think that's what she means. You can unmute yourself. You don't have to go on camera. It's okay.
Hi, Nyaki.
Hey,
Hi,
hey.
everyone. Excited to be here. Just bumped into this. And I
Nice.
decided to join. So good.
Yes.
So if you're late, right, and you're studying late, because this retirement story, I don't think when you're young, you really get it. You start to be like, okay, wait, what is going on? You know, so if you're late, can you come up with a strategy where you are saving what you're saving, but maybe because you said, you know, you can focus on TFSA, which I'm obsessed with TFSA. I think it's such an amazing tool. I also use it on Easy Equity. And then you need to focus on emergency fund, and then you need to focus on retirement. So let's say you're now focusing on retirement, but you're late. Can you use a strategy where you're investing in shares and taking like your dividends? Like for instance, if you're on BAT shares, for instance, you know, it's normally a good share until it dips, but it comes up. But you have like those dividends and you have like those babies that you're making from your share portfolios. Can you use that to then transfer what you're getting as interest into your retirement to just try and catch up? Like, what are the ways that you can catch up if you are behind or you started late?
Okay. I said late, but there's no late.
I
said-
definitely
I
am
just-
feeling late.
I just said late, but there's no late. Okay.
Stay positive.
Yeah. The maximum you can invest in your retirement is 27%. Then you get your relief from SARS with tax. Okay. But do not run away from investing because you are afraid of tax. You fear that if I invest more, I'm going to be taxed. Okay. It is better to be taxed now than to be taxed when you're old. Okay. Because the money, you can recoup the money. You can have your let me make an example. I worked for some time and I had my employer I had the RA, retirement annuity, with my employer. And on the side, I did mine. So they were running parallel. Okay. Because I realized that at some stage, I'm going to leave employment and work for myself, which I did. Okay. And when I did that, the amount of money that I was investing was more than what was required. Then there is what you have to find a business advisor who will advise you on that. There is a rollover. You might not be even get tax rebates. Don't worry about tax rebates. Tax rebates is just one of the ways that you that SARS try to encourage you to invest more. But if you don't get them, continue. Take your investment and open up. If you are working, open up your separate RA, but make sure that you max your tax free. Okay, and when I say you max your tax free, if possible, on the first day. When is the first day of the tax year? Is it March 1st? Yeah. On the first month, if you are able to do it, invest the whole 36,000. If you are able to do it, if you have cash dividends and the like, make sure that you dump it as a whole, because then you have the whole year of your portfolio growing, instead of waiting and keeping it somewhere and then throwing 3,000 every month, 3,000 every month. No, max it, and then what remains. If you have the second retirement annuity, then you can have the second retirement annuity. Because most of the companies do not allow you to top up your retirement annuity or your pension. They don't allow it. So you can open a separate one. Yeah.
So then if, for example, now she's getting dividends, right? So so she used the example of using BAT. So she's got a BAT shares.
Which
that she-
gives dividends 4 times a year.
Yes, so she's got dividends from BAT that she gets. Is it advisable then she uses that money to, number one, does she put it in her RA, or should she put it back into the dividends? Like, as a strategy, what is the maximum, what's the best way to get, I suppose, that use for that kind of money?
I would put it in RA, tax-free and RA, not more on the same
Share.
Okay.
Why?
Personal reasons.
No, say personal
Personal
reasons.
reasons.
I
BAT.
also want to know, Nyaki, the personal
No
reason.
personal reasons here.
Okay, I would have invested in BAT for my values, but we have invested. Okay, it's fine. But think about it. How many people are smoking? How many people are dropping smoking? Okay, so BAT, it's no longer as viable as it used to be 10 years ago. Okay.
Yeah. Okay, but assume it's a different share, like Bitcoin. Triggered you now. Sorry, guys, I'm triggering my father. Okay, it's not Bitcoin. Choose something else. Tungela.
No, you can,
Yeah.
but remember the interest that you also, sorry. Let me make an example about myself. I invested in the shares that are growth shares when I was younger. And when I was actually nearing my retirement, I changed my strategy to move to the dividend paying shares. And the thing about dividend paying shares is that they don't grow. Okay. You'll find that you have a share that you bought for 100 rand. After 3 years, it's still 100 rands. Or 90 rand after 3 years. Okay. But if it's a growing share, in that 3 years, it will have grown, but then you'll have to dip into your share to get more money. But that is a different topic. Yeah. But I think the person
Nomdeni.
Nomdeni, I think Nomdeni, I saw there saying she got it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. Okay. Other questions in terms of starting strong. So I think this might be what shares are we looking at right now, especially now at the beginning of the year? Bitcoin.
Why are you laughing?
I'm not laughing.
Yeah.
No one's laughing. No one's laughing.
Okay. She's laughing because I'm not a Bitcoin fan.
No. I'm triggering him when I say Bitcoin, he's just sitting there fuming. Okay. What shares are we looking at now? So I'm debt free. I'm busy with my retirement savings, and I would like to start for the first time. What strategy should I be looking into? So what shares should I be looking at now? Are there maybe specific shares that maybe give us some insider trading? It's not insider trading. He's not an insider trader, guys. He's just a guy on the streets. It's not insider trading. Give us some insider insights as to what shares you've been keeping your eyes on the market to say, these young people, if they could just look in this direction. Just look in the direction. Remember, this is not financial advice, guys. He's been looking at the shares and he's been seeing a trend. I know he's getting nervous now to answer this question. But like now in between the first, and I'll tell you why, right? Because like I'm asking this question because when the war started, the Ukraine Russia war, my dad phoned me quickly and he's like, Nyaki, pick up gold right now. Do you have money? First, he asked me, do you have money? I'm an entrepreneur because I don't have money. Do you have money? Okay, go pick up gold. Our gold, and then he explained to me why gold was going up. So that's the kind of we're here in January, maybe because Trump is saying some things, maybe because Elon Musk is saying some things. Yeah.
You caught me off guard.
It's fine. I know you're already prepared. In and out of season.
You caught me off guard. I didn't prepare that one, and I'm not sure which shares I would advise people to buy. But ETFs that have gold on them are still the good ones. Okay. I'm with the American shares, I'm now conflicted with what Elon Musk is doing and Trump is doing, whether your Magnificent Seven are going to do well, and for how long. Your
Okay.
Magnificent Seven, it's your top seven IT companies. What are they? It's Google, it's
Facebook,
Facebook, Alphabet, yeah,
Meta,
Meta, and
Apple, Nvidia,
yeah,
Tesla,
Microsoft,
and
yeah,
Microsoft. Yeah.
and those. I'm not sure how well are they going to do, but I think they will still do well.
Mhm.
But at the same time, I don't like investing on individual shares. I prefer exchange traded funds. So there are exchange traded funds which have those shares. Those are the best ones. And then also, I'm not a financial advisor, eh? So the
Yes.
advice I'm giving, if you have a financial advisor, you should also just check with your financial advisor. Also, check around ETFs that are from the East China.
Okay.
What is happening now is that if you check, Jack Ma was in hiding. I don't know, was in hiding or was he arrested? Jack Ma, the what
Alibaba. Alibaba.
yeah, Alibaba. He was not in public for more than a year. Recently, he's been seen in public, not only in public with Xi Jinping, and sharing a stage with him. So it could be that China is preparing itself to offstage America as a global player. Yes. So ETFs that there is a Chinese ETF that has, which is good, which was, I think it started about 3 years ago. It was not performing well, but now people are picking on it because of this. Yeah.
Do you remember what it's called?
MSC, I think it's MSC China.
Okay.
MSCI
MSCI China.
I think so.
You did mention this before.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So Wes, what about emerging markets like India?
There is MSCI emerging markets.
Okay. Okay.
Which is spread all over. Yeah.
Yeah. So you would we look into those ones
over
the Americans or in line with the Americans? I suppose.
No, the Americans are still investable.
Yeah.
Yeah, very much so. They are still investable.
Okay, but as part of diversification, because China could be the next superpower.
Well, I'm not sure about that. It will take a long time. Yeah, it will take more than Trump to make China a superpower.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then someone is saying, how can I capitalize my 9-to-5 income to create wealth? I think that's kind of the same question that we've been answering. Maybe let's do this one. One last one. One warning for youngish people investing this year. How would you caution us to stop to invest this year? Bitcoin.
Yeah.
I love Bitcoin, guys. I'm not invested in it, but I love Bitcoin. I've been watching it. I'm just like, should I? Shouldn't I? Should I? Shouldn't I?
You can. But remember, I spoke about values.
Yes.
Okay. If you invest and you deviate from your values,
yeah.
Okay. It's not of use. I watched Bitcoin. But one of the things that I do is that I don't invest in something that I don't understand. If I don't understand and I cannot explain it to a person like I explain it to a grade 1 child, I'm not going to invest. Never mind how much money it makes. And Bitcoin is one of those. I understand how they make money, but I don't understand how you keep your money. If you lose your key, there is a person who has lost his key.
Yeah.
I think you have seen that story. And that person cannot get back his money. And the money has grown into millions. And because of the way Bitcoin is structured, nobody can help him.
Yeah.
And how many times do I forget my password? Oh, I have to change my password almost every week. At least now I use my face.
Oh wow.
It helps.
Yes. Okay. Okay. Yeah. So the question is, the youngish people, the warning. What's the warning? What's the warning for this year? Because we're obviously going to do foolish things. What should we? What's the least foolish? What's the most foolish thing we should do?
Never gamble with money.
Okay.
When I say never gamble, if there is any investment which is too good to be true, don't invest in it.
Hmm.
Uh,
Do you have an example? So we're
when
not being scammed.
when they promise you that we are building a shopping center, we are building this, the return of investment, it's 20 guaranteed 25%. There is no guaranteed returns except for bonds. Okay.
Mm.
Other things are not guaranteed. Even the structured investment are not guaranteed. They will tell you that if it goes to this high, you'll get this much. If it goes below this, we'll give you back your money. So there is nothing that is guaranteed. So a lot of people jump on those.
Mm.
I just see somebody's out about structured investment. Those are good.
Mm.
I'm talking about the structured investments. They are very good.
Mm.
Because they tell you that, okay, we're investing in this particular instruments, and then this is how much we project. And if the performance goes below a certain amount and dip below what you have invested, up to 10% or 15%, you'll get your money back. So you know that if your investment dips 15% less, you'll get your 100 Rand back. If it goes above 20%, you'll gain. So that is, structured instruments are very good.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. Okay, we're going through the questions one last time. If there are none left. The one question was, how do I capitalize on my 9-to-5 income to create wealth? That was the one question.
Wait, that one is a tough one, to be honest.
Okay, why is it tough?
Because your 9-to-5 will not create wealth.
Choo, 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 choo. Shots fired. Why are you looking for us like that?
You need to think about how do you invest your 9-to-5 money.
Okay.
Yeah. And I think it's a session on its own. Somebody said it's a session on its own. Yes, it is. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think we need a whole session on that one, an example budget for a 9-to-5 person. Okay. And a structured investing for 9-to-5 when you have a fixed income and you project a fixed income for an extended period of time. Because I suppose most people are on a 9-to-5 or generally will earn, they'll get like a cost of living increase unless they change jobs or whatever. So it's not gonna like us entrepreneurs. One day we're completely broke. The next day we've got a lot of money. So there's I suppose there's a different strategy for us all. Any more questions before we take the last the closing thoughts and closing remarks? No. Okay. Closing thoughts, closing remarks. The next, what other thing that I need to say is, okay, so it's very helpful, guys. I will tell you, it's very helpful. If you let us know what you want to discuss. Be as detailed as possible. What's interesting you? Nyaki, I saw this, like you mentioned gold. Why should we be why should we be investing in gold or not investing in gold? How do we invest in gold? Is it still a thing? Murua's asking, what's your take on property investment? It's a simple answer. He's a nay, I'm a yay, but not really. I don't know. That's a whole conversation. That's another conversation for another day. But if you do have questions and you have topics that you want us to discuss, it's obviously very helpful. You can see the man prepares in detail. It's very helpful, but very advanced. What's advanced, Sima? Oh, the training, the talk. Oh, you know what I would do? If this conversation kind of like flew over your head just a little bit, right? Even don't feel embarrassed by it. Please don't feel shy. Go back into your Club She Is portal. This is like possibly the 4th conversation that we've had with Dad about investing, and they all incrementally get a little bit more technical. And this one isn't even technical. They get a little bit more detailed as they go. So the first couple of sessions, he spoke about what an ETF is, what an RA is, what a unit trust is, how to invest in those things, where to invest in them. And we'll obviously, like, the whole thing with finance and investing is that the conversation does, you keep talking about it, like it feels like a conversation over and over and over again. It's just the use case then of how we apply it that we can leverage off on, right? And so that is something that you can do. Pompero, you may, if you aren't getting your emails and you are supposed to be, because either you're part of your club or you're part of your fast track graduate, you've probably unsubscribed, which a lot of you girls have done. You just need to resubscribe to something, or just send us a DM and we'll resubscribe you manually so you can continue to get the emails. I've been seeing a lot of people saying, I'm not getting emails. And then we check and it's because the person said they no longer want to be communicated with. So yeah, that's just a little bit of housekeeping. But if this was great, please can you just send do a thumbs up or a clap or something so that Dad knows if he should come back. Thumbs up. There's the emojis. We're getting some thumbs up. This was very helpful. If you found it helpful, you can give him a thumbs down too as well. Don't do that, I'll kick you out. You just but do please, would love to learn more about investment, but thank you for the insight, Ross. Okay, that's cool. Love this. Thank you, Nomdeni. Thank you very much for participating as well. Okay, so we will see you guys for this segment again in 3 weeks' time, which will be at the end of March. We'll send you the date so that you can join again. We will by then have gathered some insights as to 3rd week of March. Thanks, G. 3rd week of March next week. By then we would have gathered some insights as to what you guys want to talk about. I do think that we will challenge you just a little bit, Dare, to make it a little bit more technical, because I know you want to use your Medulla oblongata. So we're going to get you some more technical questions. So you're gonna have to do some research. You're gonna have to come with more than just Jack Ma, bro. You have to come with some secret spy, this is some secret insider trading information. It's not secret insider trading information, guys. This guy just sits at home with his own computer. He's not a trader or no financial expert. Remember, this was not financial advice. Everything you heard today was based on Ntate Pitso's personal experience. None of it was a recommendation or it was just purely information being shared today. Please don't take this as financial advice. We will deny even having this conversation, because this is not financial advice. This is just stories from a young man who is retired successfully and teaching his daughter how to retire at 40 in 5 years time. I'm gonna be on my way, guys. I'm like Nomdeni. I'm a little bit delayed, because just a little bit, but bounce back power. So I've got 5 years till retirement, guys. My dad did it at 65, 60. How old are you? 63?
60.
My dad did it at 60. I'm gonna do it at 40. So checkmate. So yeah, that's it for us for now. Thank you guys for joining so much. Do love and appreciate you. If you aren't part of the club, join the club. It's 349 Rand per month. This is the part of the access that you will get to join. you get Money Babies with Dad on the 3rd Wednesday of the month. The 2nd Wednesday of the month, I know we do a live session. The 1st Wednesday of the month, we drop our content calendar, which gives you your month's content for you to create your posts, ideate, plan your selling content for the month. And then the 4th Monday, I know we drop the 4th Wednesday, we drop a training. So it's the content calendar, it's a live session. So for the pajama party, the training, as well as Money Babies with Dad, that's your life in the club, as well as all the other content that exists inside of the portal. That's it from me. Love and appreciate you all. Goodbye.
Bye.